maybe I'd still be there, but happy to be here. I learned a lot from Roland Colette, so please listen to him. Things that he says are true, simple things, having fun, making sure that the kids understand what the coaches are saying, really important, so keep working with that. A lot of those drills were stolen from me, so I take a lot of credit for that book too, but like you said, we talk about a lot of hockey, we steal stuff from each other, we use each other, and I think that's important with coaches. I always say coaches, the saying is monkey see, monkey do. You're going to take away some stuff. I've stole some stuff from Forgy when he was playing. They worked a lot behind the net in offensive situations. We started doing that at UM because we had trouble defending it. So a lot of times we would do the same thing. If somebody would do something on the power play and we didn't know how to defend it, we tried it on them, see what they did, and then we would figure it out after that. So. Yeah, use each other, make sure if you have questions, don't hesitate, don't be shy. So for me, I teach an offense. I've got 3 elements. I did this presentation, Monday we did it, and after the presentation I didn't feel right with this. I didn't think I did a good job enough. I felt we were missing something. Did that, he said, well, maybe you should, there's another aspect maybe you could add. We talked about it, and I added it. Monday I had 2 key elements, and today I've got 3. So teaching skills, we'll get through those, activating your defensemen, which I think is important and what we should be doing a lot more. Beating the goalie, it could be in different ways, but how you want to put it, putting the elements to use. Creating concept meaning what do we want to do when we're in the offensive zone. And I know now that you have, talk about novice, I have a little girl who's going to play in the spring hockey the first time. She's a novice player. And I've got a son that's playing actually in playoffs right now. And he's in Adam. So he'd be Adam 2008. And he's in the Vipers organization, I should say. And these are all things that we can do. Even if not their age, there's some concept that we can start teaching, can start giving. And I think it will help them play the game and have more fun. We've got set plays. Again there, we'll talk about it a little bit more. We do them at the Adam. We have some set face-offs that we try to incorporate. I don't think it has to be a lot, how do I say it, too complicated, but set face-off to know where they're supposed to go and stuff like that. So we'll get into that a little bit more. Skills, I think that's the biggest thing. Sidney Crosby, I always tell the kids he's the best player in the NHL for what? Because he takes care of the details. He works on his skills, he works on his passing, he works on his shooting. More that the kids are better as skaters, more offense you're going to create. Make sense? Stick handling, better you can protect the puck, you get the puck, get all that stuff. Shooting, we talked about it a little bit. I think that's the big one if you want to score goals. I said this the last time, Ovechkin scored his 600 goals, he's up to 601, he must have scored probably 300 from that spot on the power play. One-timer. Now, Ovechkin's got the skill. He can shoot the puck. He knows what he's doing. If you put another player there in his spot in the same power play, doesn't mean he's going to score 600 goals, right? So, like, put a Thomas Plekanec, or I want to show another person in a while there. If you put those guys there, they're not going to do the same thing. So the skill level of shooting the puck. And this is where the coaches, your job is to do. I always say to my coaches back in Dieppe, if you can put all the cones you want like this, and you can do the all around the cones, you can do what you want. But if you don't teach the kids how to go around the cone, what's the use of that drill? Right? So you have to teach them the right way. Shooting a puck, there's some different types of shooting pucks. I talk about changing the angle. You see Taylor Hall does it a lot now. He breaks the puck over here, he pulls it inside, and then he shoots the puck. So he's changing the angle of his shot. He's changing the angles of right beside the defenseman's back. So shooting the puck is a skill that we can try to work on. The better we get, the more offense we're going to get. Makes sense? Shooting for rebounds. Goaltenders are so big now, so well, sometimes just shooting the puck on the pads, making your guy get the puck in, that's a shot. That's using your brains, that's looking before you shoot the puck. No angle, instead of shooting in the glass, shoot against the pads, the puck comes out, and we get the rebound. So those are skills that I think in practices that we have to teach. Those are skills that we have to get better at. as kids. We start seeing a lot more of the Europeans being on top of the scoring race in the NHL. We got Kucherov, we got Malkin, we got Ovechkin, and they've always said that they've got the more skills than we do as Canadians. We do have our boys, don't worry about that, but skill-wise, that's some stuff that we have to get better at. Passing. I mean, when Ovechkin scores his goals from here, the puck is usually between the legs in the right spot and flat. If the puck comes in a butterfly and it's between or in front, he doesn't get those goals. So again, when you guys are teaching your kids and we're teaching about passing, remember the basics, the things that we want them to learn, the concepts, having the puck flat, having the spin on the puck so it comes to the right spot, making sure our heads are up. Better we passing the puck, better we're going to have offensive stuff. Puck retrieval, Renan talked about it a little bit. More that we get the puck, it makes sense, we get more offense and puck protection. I like to go through the skills just to make sure you guys realize that a lot of the goals we're going to get, a lot better we get at skills, or better athletes or hockey players we get, the more offense we're going to get. That makes sense, right? And that's what we had the conversation, me and Renan the other day, says, yeah, but we're not all Ovechkins, so how does the other people or the other guys in the NHL going to score goals? So we as coaches have to find different ways than just saying this guy is the best skill player, he's going to score our goals. So this is where we had the conversation and I kind of added a couple elements. When I played, I was a defenseman. I always had the rule with my Blue Eagles that my last year with the as Blue Eagles, I had a really good season. And I said each year my defenseman, if somebody breaks my record or gets more points than I do, I'd give them $20 or $40. I don't know what the bet was. So they never did break my record, but like I said the other time, every end of the season they would kind of lose ice time if they were close. So I'd make sure my record stayed there. But for me, and just what I know I talked about with that drive a while ago, explains why we need defensemen to jump into the play. The forwards now and the coaches all have their rules. They play the high man, they call it, the F3. They always have them high here. So they'll have F1, F2, forward checking, working hard. They always have this guy here, two defensemen like this. Everybody knows a little bit what I'm talking about there. So every time we're jumping it through this way, and we're going through the zone here, they always got that guy in the middle. So every time they're trying to drive the net, they have somebody watching the trailer. And this is exactly what Renan was saying a while ago, is there are defensemen now have to be activated. They have to be jumping into the play and help out our offense. So this guy in front of the net, especially here, he's the guy that's just going to jump into play and be that third guy. We had a rule at Université Moncton. I have the same rule in novice. If you're a defenseman and you're going to the zone, you're going this way. Even if you're not even the third guy, if you're the second guy, you keep driving the net. The only rule he had is he couldn't stop. And this is where I think as offensive defenseman comes, they have to have those little rules or little concepts that we have. He wasn't allowed to stop. So if he had the puck coming through here, he's going to shoot the puck. The rebound didn't come. He just kept skating coming this way. Now if you're a forward, your job is to stay in front of the net, look for those rebounds and stop there. I was asked the other day by Adam AA team. They have two defensemen that are pretty much offensive. They move the puck well, they skate well. They said, do you think we should stop them? I said, no. So you look at the NHL now, you got Eric Carlson, Burns, you got those guys. I went to watch the Canadians play against San Jose. My son asked me, is Burns playing forward tonight? I said, no, he's just jumping into play. He's being smart, he's not stopping. So for me, starting in novice, I know it's a little early, but you gotta let them go. There's a difference between, what do I say, following the play, carrying the puck, doing that, and pinching, okay? And that's what I wanted to clear. We have to still have those rules where defensemen can't go and forecheck the puck over here, right? They have to be the defensemen. We have to be smart about it. But I still think we have to let their defensemen jump into play. I talk about breakouts, the first one. A lot of the times, our centerman's going to be here working with our defenseman, right? If the puck's in the corner, same thing happens. We have our winger here, we have our winger here. Puck goes to this guy, he chips the puck or he pinches or whatever. Well, this guy here he's got to be smart and he's jumping into play. Okay, we're talking about helping offense. If this defenseman stays there, that means we have this forward going, we probably have that F3 that's going to back check here, and we have our centerman that's way back here. So then again, it becomes kind of a one-on-two players, where the defenseman's going to take his man, the other guy gets the puck, and he comes back. So activating your defenseman, making them believe more of the play. A lot of people are going to say, yeah, but he's a defensive defenseman. Not saying he has to be Bobby Orr and he's got to bring the puck all the way and score goals, but he's got to help out to do those breakouts. He's got to be the guy that maybe he gets the pass here. A lot of the teams we played against St. Mary's, that they always pinched here. So a lot of the times we got the puck here, and right away we make that pass to this guy, because their F3 was high here, and this F3 was here, and he would slide this way, and their defenseman would be here. So the front of the net was always wide open. Okay, and that's the way we broke their forecheck. We used our defenseman to carry the puck. He would move this way, pass, right to the defenseman, he would move up, and then make the play, but he was in the offensive area. Again, I know you're going to say, I'm not going to make the pass to a novice kid. Nope, I'm not asking you to do it. But I'm asking you to get those defensemen moving. And that starts again with teaching the skills to your defensemen. They have to be able to pass the puck. They have to be able to shoot the puck. They have to be able to do all that stuff too. So we got to be tough on them to do a little bit more. Sounds good? I'm nervous because you're here, you know that.
I wish I would have did this a couple weeks ago.
5 weeks later.
And then the second one, direct passing, that's just what Charlie and Roland talked about a while ago. A lot of the defensemen before, they get the puck and all of a sudden it's off the window. Okay? And then all of a sudden the coaches and fans are saying, I see this a bit in Montreal, but the forwards are not doing anything. They're not, well, how do you expect to play offensive if you're always chasing the puck, right? And you're going to have to do it. Again, this is some plays, the defenseman's got the play, somebody's coming this way, shoot it off the glass, get it out of your zone, no questions. But the more often that defenseman can have control the puck, move it, and make a direct pass to your forward that's breaking, that's when you're going to have those entry zones. That's when you're going to be able to put the puck deep and then go get it. That's when you're going to be able to create offense. Okay? Again, there, remember, defenseman shooting the puck against the glass. All the defenseman would do is this: pick it up, dump it back into your zone. Well, after a while, the forward just turns and turns, gets discouraged, goes to sit, and then nothing happens. So, defensemen being able to carry the puck, being able to control the puck, being able to make those nice passes will create offense. Zone entry, we talked about it with the drive. Like I said, for me, there was always a rule that if you're the second guy, you go. You drive the net, no questions asked. The only thing is you turn back. If you're a forward, you would stop. If you do the triple drive and it's all three forwards, that you have F1, F2, and F3 here, well, that means this defenseman has to be the guy coming in for the trailer. Okay, so the same rules apply. We have to have those defensemen helping them. Now, shots on net. Okay, shots on net. We talk about slap shots. We talk about moving the puck. One thing I've always told my defensemen, if you get the puck, the wall's here, I have to be able to move this way so I can make a pass that way, so I can go through here, or then I can turn and shoot the puck on net. I do this all the time because if you stop the puck and you go this way, all of a sudden somebody comes this way and grabs the puck from you. The other thing is you can't make your pass across this way to your partner. And these are things that you can practice with your novice, because I do them. I always tell them to do this. They take the puck, try to keep the shoulders, then you turn around the puck and then you shoot. Okay? So that's a key to defensemen to be able to do that. Again, able to do that pass, control the puck, pass it through there, or shoot the puck. Skills, but with your defenseman. Other thing is, if my partner is here, he's a winger, he's in front of me, I've got to be able to see, and this is the trick I always tell him, don't look at the net behind him. Okay, if he's coming towards me, I don't want to look at the net, I want to look at his pads. And the reason I say that is if you look at his pads, and I'll say, okay, look at the pads, I'm going to shoot the puck beside him. So I shoot the puck here or here. If you hit the pads, they're going that way, possibility of breakaway. If they pass that pad, even if there's not on net, at least you're creating stuff here. Somebody should be in front of the net. Somebody should be there for deflection, for, how do I say, a rebound. Even if the puck goes in the corner this way, at least the puck's here and not on the pads. So skills again, good defenseman looking, look at the pads, shoot beside it, and then the puck goes deep. The other thing is, I call it the toe drag shot. Same thing, if he's coming this way, all I gotta do is pull it in and then shoot the puck this way, but at least I'm giving myself a different angle beside the pads. So again, skills, I know, and defenseman. If you can get your defenseman to do that, those little things, it's gonna add on that offensive side, right? Good. Now, I'm gonna put this one, I'm gonna give myself a break. Beating the goalie, you can taking his eyes away, change the point of attack, creating second chances, and don't let him get set. I know Dave's gonna say all the opposite of what I just said, because he's a goalie. So when I had the discussion with Roland, and he said, well, we're not all Ovechkins, it kind of makes sense. Like, even the guys in the NHL have skill, right? But they're not all Ovechkins. So these guys have to find ways to score. And I'm thinking, who can I have like in the opposite way of Ovechkin, which is skill, but still scores goals? He's got a whole lot more this year, so I got a video about the last. I'll let you see this.
Montreal had their goal this year?
Last year.
It's on Saturday, I know that.
This is the first goal, right?
Charles on the 52-year window.
That's why I say right there, look, change of angles, okay, using the screen. These are all Gallagher goals.
Back to the line, scores! Shea Weber! Good things happen when you put the puck on the net. Shea Weber did just that with traffic in front, and it's 3-1 Montreal.
And Gallagher was up, keep it on side with Pacioretty. Pacioretty again. Back out, Gallagher scores! Shot by Gallagher. And Hudobin couldn't get the hand up in time, and Montreal takes the lead, 1-0.
Trying it open. Unleash that bouncer. And here's Weber up with it, hands it across. Robillard scores!
This is the beauty of having Weber on the point. Everyone thinks he's going to shoot it. Look at the Flyers panic. They try to get over and block the lane.
Only scored 10, so
wide
good
open.
to him.
Smart play, one touch, back to Radulov and gets it over the red wing goal line and drops it back. Scoring chance here. The Cats score. Gets this goal. It is tied. 1-1. Brendan Gallagher.
Triple drive.
Gallagher through center, got it in on the wing, picks up his own dump and goes after it in the corner. Gallagher now trying to knock it away from Arvidsson, gets help from Galchenyuk. Gallagher pulls it out, wraparound, scores! The way to the world off the shoulders of Brendan Gallagher as he finally tucks one home, and the Canadians have tied it at 1.
Make it. And then Gallagher turns. Yes, but Gallagher's goal!
Gallagher down low is going to straight off of Fidel and just throw this to the net. This is a bad goal. I mean, it just shouldn't go in, that's for sure. Anderson goes down.
I don't know if they're scored one like that in the end.
Great shot by Brendan Gallagher as he surprises London.
So you guys get the idea. There was one more, I think. You see, like, I think Gallagher actually shot the puck 3 or 4 times to score goals. The other ones were off his pads, off the sticks, off the. But a lot of the stuff that we talked about, taking the goalie's eyes away. So that means screening the puck, right? And there's a couple different ways that we talk about the screen. So first of all, it makes sense. The goalie's back there. If I'm in front of him like this, that means the goalie has to look up, and all of a sudden the puck goes this way. So screening, making sure our kids go to the net and stay in front of the net. We need one guy there if the puck's at the point to do a job. And often I'll say, I say that for the defensemen. Coaches have to tell the defenseman, or that the position of defenseman is valable, is the word valuable or not valuable, but anyway. But you have to tell those guys that go in front of the net to make that the screen, that they're as important as the guy that scored the goal. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? The guys that did the little jobs, and that's where the coaches have to be smart about that. If Vossi was in front of the net and I scored a goal, well, I go tell Vossi, hey, good screen, or the coach should have told him good screen because he's as important as he was in front of the net as the shot was, right? The other way that you saw Gallagher scored 2 goals is using the defenseman as a screen. So the defenseman's backing up, and I'm looking this way, so I use again, beside his pads, between the legs, but I use another player as a screen. So that's another way. And where I see that, and I see that in practice, is I see a lot of the times that we're shooting in skating, right, in strides, shooting in strides, sorry, is we have an Adam AA practice the other day. This kid goes up, and we were doing a shooting drill or something. He was coming through here, gets the puck, and 4 times in a row, he deked the goalie up. So I go up and tell him, I said, why do you deke the goalie? Well, he said, I want to practice. I said, okay. I said, how many breakaways did you have this year? Well, I think 1. So I said, why not practice shooting the puck? Why not try and use your defenseman as a screen? What Renan talked about a while ago, game situations instead of going on a breakaway every time. So that's where you have to be in charge of the practices and keep teaching these kids to do that stuff. Changing the point of attack, you saw the one-timer that he did. You saw where Radulov and Weber moved the puck. Goalies have to look one side, they have to go the other side. The wraparound, okay, making goalies move. Creating second chances, again, that goes for me for screens. That goes for me for winning battles in front of the net for those rebounds. Game situations, battle drills. Those are things that we can teach our kids. The drill that I talked about a while ago, where we always shoot a puck from the coach in a battle drill there. Same exact thing. We got to get our forwards to be able to win those battles, to put the rebound in net, or to at least get another shot. To find ways to get those second chances. Don't let it get set. Quick release. How many times have we seen the players in the slot do this, look, and then big wind up and then shoot the puck? I do skill camps in the morning at Dieppe. I've got one tomorrow morning, and last week that's what we worked on. Not necessarily big one-timers, but kind of redirection. Puck came this way, and they had to shoot it that way. So quick release, putting the puck in there. Puck came this way to get in position to do one-timers that way, right? And that's all things, again, novice kids, initiation kids. I know some of them will be tough, but your good initiation kids can for sure, your novice kids can for sure. So those are things that we can keep looking at, keep creating. Good? How's the time right now? Doing good? Yeah. Creating concepts. For me, this is not necessarily a tough one, but it's using keywords, trying to get them ideas of what to do. For me, offensive pressure, a lot of puck support. If I'm going for the puck, my teammates should be close to help me out. I know one of my rules is there should always be 2 of my team on the puck. So if I'm going towards the puck, that means another guy's coming. If I'm the 3rd guy and I count 1, 2, then I stay back. That's the concept we got in forecheck. That's a little bit of the concept we have in our D zone. Puck's in the corner, I start looking, there's 2 guys, okay, I back up, start looking a little bit back. So that's a concept I've got there. Offensive pressure, you can talk about speed, you can talk about angling. Okay, those are all things that we need to do if we want to put that offensive pressure. Get the defenseman into the attack. Okay, every time you get a guy coming back, that means you have a trailer. That means you're putting that pressure on the back checking, that means you're putting pressure on the goaltender on the other side. So we want to work on that. Breakouts, we talked about always having an up, always having support. We did a lot of the, again here it might be a little too advanced, but we talked about dinks. Dinks or dinks, whatever you want to call them. The puck would be dumped in our defenseman's corner here. This defenseman would come get the puck. The olden days, or the good old days, is this defenseman here would come here right away, and he would make a D-to-D pass, right? A lot of the times happens if it's a race, if there's a guy right on his ass. What we started doing is, as soon as you go this way, if it's a turnover or if a bad pass or anything happens, you end up with one defenseman here and one defenseman here and nobody here. So what we tried to do a lot more is dinks or dinks we call them. So the defenseman would come get the puck. We had checking with the University of Moncton, so he would call either net or board. So our defenseman number 2 here, he would follow the play. So he'd follow the play this way. So we had one of their forwards here, and we had our D1 here. So he would call boards or net. And all he'd do is a little chip, because we want to support the puck a lot more. And that's where I'm getting with that. So he would take the hit, make the play, just like Renaud said, the area, save zones. So you take the puck and he can move his feet here. If we do boards, he put the puck this way, he can move this way. So puck support, instead of having them far away from each other, we wanted to create puck support a lot more. Supporting the puck from under. One of the rules is when you chip the puck, this winger here, the centerman should be curling under the puck instead of coming over the puck. And the same things apply here. They can make a pass through this way. If he chips the puck, he can still pass the puck from this way. So little
Except for the
things.
Sauniers.
What's that? Exactly. Exactly.
You two could cheat when your best does this.
That's right. That's right. So having concepts like that, it could be anything about having at least one guy here, having your centerman here, having a defenseman there. So keywords that you can teach your kids. I know again, and I keep repeating myself when I hear myself saying it, but even if they're novice, you can start moving those little things. You can say the 2-1, you can say the moving your feet, you can say you want speed. So you can keep harping on that. Neutral zone, we would have, you can have rules like if the puck's here, you have at least one guy up, you have your centerman support. So you would have options for your defenseman here, here, and here. You can have the other guy there. Things like that, for me, speed through the neutral zone. But I talked about having guys offensively outside the dots, inside the dots. That again depends on what you want to do, but for me, having concepts like that. Offensive zone, one thing I wanted to touch upon is we talked about having triangles. Nothing wrong with having triangles in your zone here, where you can move the puck, attacking by triangles. And what I was saying a while ago about 3-man, triple drive, I know what it is, but I never remember the name. Okay, this is when there is a back checker. Okay, if there's only 2 defensemen, and then you got your 3 guys coming here with speed, well, then we can still do our triangle, right? Now, it's the same thing. If we want to teach our triangle, is this guy driving the net? And these are the concepts you can work on, is driving the net. And as coaches, there's a couple different ways to drive the net. You can go, or you can go the right way. And again, when I talk about going around the cone, for me is, if you're driving the net here, you have to go inside post. If the puck's on this side, you've got to go inside post for the same reason that Renaud said a while ago. So if this guy's coming through here, net's behind me, he's coming through this way, 4B's got the puck. I have no choice but to turn with him and stay with him, right? Because if I stay like this, he goes to the net, there's a tip into the net, or he can take a shot. If I'm on this side, he's going to the outside, then I can see the pass coming, I can cut the pass. If he decides to go to the trailer, I can step up on the trailer and I see everything. I don't necessarily have to follow him to the net. I can still have my eyes this way. So those are concepts when you're talking about driving the net, is where do you want me to drive the net? Are you going just area? Am I going towards the inside post? Am I going to the outside post? And those are little details that I think would help out when we're talking about creating offense. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand what I want to say there? So this guy's driving inside post, this defenseman here has no choice, he has to turn, he can come here, and that's when you're going to create that lane to the defenseman there. If he's turning to the outside, this defenseman can stay there, and as soon as the puck comes here, he can either stay there or he can react that way. Right? Offensive zone, I talked about that with the 4B just a while ago. One thing they did really good against us is they used the net. Okay, they used the net. When they were in trouble, they would always rim a puck this way, and this guy would always come behind the net. So all of a sudden, our defenseman never knew if I had to chase, if I would go this way, so it create a little bit of confusion. And from there, well, you could go back to the point, they could go right back in front of the net, they could cut it back through this way. So using the net is a concept that you can work on. Cycling the puck. We worked on cycling at my skills camp the other day with my novice kids again. We don't want them to cycle the puck, we want them to carry and that. But we can teach them the option of doing it. If you're in trouble, you don't have any place to go, and your defenseman is covered, what do you do? Well, okay, cycle it back, shoot it back, and get your player to come in and get it. Right? Again, we're trying to create offense with guys like Gallagher. The guys that have to work hard at it. We have to do the little things. Set plays. We do one, an easy one with the novice. A lot of them do it the same way. You can have a winger here, centerman, you can put your other winger there. That can be a set face-off. You have your 2 defensemen here, 2 defensemen here. That could be a set face-off, right? Trying to win the face-off, get the quick shot. From there you can work on this forward gonna back up. To win the face-off, he goes this way. Different things like that. But those are things, again, key words or key things that we can help our kids get a little bit more offense. I talk about this face-off. I still don't think we're too young, and these are not systems, right? There's a difference between, for me, having set plays. For me, set plays is my son having the puck and knowing, okay, I've got an option there, I know my guy's supposed to be there, and I know the other option's supposed to be there. So for me, it's going to help him play. I've always been a defenseman like that I couldn't go and deep 4 players. I wasn't good enough to do that. I didn't have the skill. But I knew if my players were there, I could pass them the puck. I could see my options, I could play the puck with them. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to do. Having a simple face-off, they win the puck. Well, this guy backs off, this guy backs off, we try to do a DVD, we go here, we go our centerman here. That's something in practice you can practice, right? We can go here, from there, go for a shot. Like I said, add another puck here. You can create a 3-on-2, you can do different things out of that. But it's something we can start with the drill with. Okay, this is the options you should do. As a coach after, he can stand right here. The defenseman says, oh no, I can't pass the puck to him. Well, I'm going to pass the puck to the centerman. So then make him think outside the box. For me, those are set plays that can help us go and create offense. As you go older, there's the Rangers face-off where the centerman, winger, stupid UNB did it against us a whole bunch of times. Win the face-off here, this forward here, his job's to come to the point. Well, as soon as he would kind of look this way, this defenseman would go back door and he would try to hit him through here. Okay, those are set face-off. There's the one where winger, like this, center, this is the neutral zone one. Again, they face off, this winger would start backing up, he would follow, he would win the face off, this defenseman would jump, try to hit him, and then go to the net. Again, don't want systems, we don't want them to be robots, but I think if we can give them game plans, even the kids like that stuff, have fun, it can help when we get to the offensive side. I still think at our level, University, Bantam, I think there should be a set face-off in the offensive zone every time. We should have 2 or 3 that we should try. Because if one of them works, then we get a goal. Just makes sense. And it's about knowing where you're supposed to go off the face-off. It's a communication. It's all the little things that you need to be a better hockey player. Right? D-jumps. Again, we had one that every time we went behind the net this way, this defenseman would jump through here, through the middle. If he didn't get the puck, and this defenseman here, his job was to mirror the player. So every time he would go behind the net, this guy would go back door. The forward that was in front of the net, he would come here. So you try to get either the pass here, or you try to get the pass to him. If that didn't work, he would just curl back to his spot, he would keep going, and you could pass the puck to this defenseman here. So those are all kind of options, concept, set plays that you can have in your offensive zone that's gonna create offense. Don't do that with the novice, that's for sure. But when you get to Pee-wee, when you get to Vent, and when you get to those things, no problem with that. If the guys on the ice know what they're supposed to do, then it becomes kind of a set play. This guy's back door, this guy's here, the 1, 2, 3 options that we can go. One that I like, and my son does it a lot, he's a first year Adam playing against second year Adam. He gets the puck here a lot, and all he does is rim it back to the corner. You guys have seen that before. So before makes him a nice pass, and instead of shooting on the net, he's not sure, he's got pressure, but he just dumps it here. For me, it's let's start teaching our kids to what to do. Okay, so one forward, after he's made the pass, he probably knows he's going to put the puck here, he should go this way. Well, you got a forward in front of the net. What should we be doing after that? You get the puck, let's rim it behind. So he goes to get the puck, and then we create. Right? Again, not set plays, not systems, but giving options to your kids to what we can do to get offensive scoring chances. Because what happens now with our Louisville team, he goes in front of the net, he goes there, puck goes here, the defenseman takes the puck and they leave. That's all they're doing because they don't know what they're supposed to be doing in those situations. So teach those things. Plays off the dump, we don't want to necessarily dump the puck as much as we can, but it happens. Having rules to where you're supposed to go. If you cycle the puck through here, he goes his way, where do you want him to go? And it could be different from coach to coach, but having an idea set play where you want him. Good? I'll go quickly through the last one here. We got the teaching concepts through small area games. For me, I'm like Bellon, I have small area games almost every practice. I had them with my novice, had them with the Blue Eagles. It's really good to practice different things. Defensive play, breakouts, special teams. I've got 2 here that I really like.
And before a new offensive team can attack the net. The goal line game can be played at different age levels, but as the players get older, more details within the game can be demanded. Defensively, the game focuses on having good body and stick position, awareness of opponents away from the puck, as well as...
So this is against USA Hockey, same one that I told you. Every time he has to go behind the net, has to play, works the battle drills, it works puck protection, it works all that thing. And what I like about these small area games...
The coach spots a puck to create a loose puck battle. The blue team gains possession and...
What I like about these things is, especially with assistant coaches, you have all those guys, so if you see something there, as soon as those 4 guys come out, you can talk about what you want. You want them to protect the puck, make sure the puck's on this side of the ice. If you're here, I got the puck here, well, let's talk about it. 4 more other guys can go. So everybody's always moving, there's always some flow, there's always some battles, and the kids like it, right? They like to play, they like to battle, they like to score goals.
The first defender at the puck has defensive side body position between the puck carrier and the net. He also has good stick position, taking away the passing lane. The puck carrier uses puck protection and skating skills to separate and attack the net. The first defender stays with him and does a good job of playing stick on puck. Defender 2, however, stares at the puck and loses track as a man, allowing the opponent to slip behind and into good scoring position.
Good.
What?
That one's there. This one's a little wider,
Man
using the
high
whole net.
above the center line when in the offensive zone. Here the blue defender gains puck possession but loses an edge, and his teammates... The game begins with the center line being drawn. The defending team is allowed to have all 3 players in the defensive half of the ice, while the attackers can have 2 players, with their 3rd player staying high above the center line. Quick transitions can lead to odd man rush attacks. As with most offensive zone play situations, if a low attacker rotates high, a new player can rotate low. Teams must always have a 3rd man high above the center line when in the offensive zone. Here.
Good, so that's an idea of what we talked about in the last one. Again, for me, that I do with my novice, because I put the lines a little lower here. I put 2 lines like this, instead of having the one in the middle, because we still want that guy to be dangerous for a shot. So we can still pass the puck to him. That's what I wanted to do with that, so I do that. And remember the rule. So this guy here, if the puck's loose, he can come in to get the puck, but as soon as his other two teammates see that, that means one guy has to come up. So that was the same concept we had a while ago. 2 players on the puck with 2 players there, the other one's got to back off. So that's where we can teach that stuff. I do it, I have a game where we play, I call it a ringette. We'll do the other one first. I teach the offsides. So you can use that as an offside. So this guy here has to skate through the puck first, right? Before the other 2 guys can cross the line to work on offsides. So that's how we do it with that. Then I do it with the ringette, where the opposite happens. That means this guy here has to pass the puck on the other side. He can't go through the line. If not, it's not a penalty, but he loses the possession of the puck. That's what we call it. And for me, what that creates, or that the concept that we want is that is passing the puck, first of all, head up, getting into open situation positions, and then protecting the puck. So I was talking to the kids like this, you know, on the knee. I had him, I say, okay guys, so if you get the puck here, and you get to the line, and you don't have anything, nobody's open, or nobody's on the other side, I say, what do you do? I was expecting to protect the puck, or control. He says, dump the puck. That's when I said, no, because the concept we want to work on here is to protect the puck. We want to control the puck. We don't want to give the puck to the other team. We want to try to do something to create offense. Any questions? Did any of that make sense? Except for the Gallagher part, was good. Yeah, I hope it was good. Like Bruno says, even if you don't take a whole lot of it, if you take a couple pieces and you bring it to your team, and you try to do it a little bit, at least that'll help out, and hopefully it'll be interesting. Score more goals. This guy. Okay.
Thanks, Serge.
Good job.
You guys want to take a short break here? Washroom break. Why don't we take 5-10 minutes and we'll come back and finish off with our presentation on goaltending.
Yeah.